video. Today we got Savannah Marie talking about Devil Corpse, the corporate cult that preys on. First of all, what the fuck is Devil Corpse? Y'all ever heard of this? If you have, put it in the comment section. Let me know, man. Shout out to the Caliginaire. This is what I call my twins and the friends that's locked in. If you're not yet a Caliginaire, hit the like, share, subscribe. Join the tribe, man. We're on the ride to 1K, so let's ride, baby.
Recently, I received a message from one of you asking me to look into this video found on TikTok. It has about 5 million views and over 11,000 comments, some of which confirm the name of this company, Linking Minds. But as a spoiler alert, the person behind this job opportunity has renamed it to Royal Associates since the original video went viral. But I need you to know that these job opportunities are
Oh yeah, they everywhere. That's what I was about to say. I was in something called Wake Up Now. It was something else before then. It was called Wake Up something. Wake Up Now. And then it was World Ventures. You Should Be Here. Then I was in some shit called Cut Code. Was a vector marketing type shit. Selling all that shit. All that shit is all pyramid scams. So if y'all get targeted for these jobs, and you have some red flags, and your friends tell you about this shit, don't call them hating ass, bitch ass motherfucking niggas that don't know how to get to the money on. And then 6 months later, when they won't join your little pyramid scheme, now you calling them a hater too. Then, you know what I'm saying, now you begging them for money. We don't need to do that, okay?
are everywhere under a plethora of different company names. I want to dive deeper into this. What is it? Is it a pyramid scheme? Is it a scam? Is it a cult? I have all the answers for you so that maybe someday if you're ever approached by a job opportunity like this or something similar, you'll be able to spot it and run from it. They're called Devil Corps and they're taking over the job market. I'm going to tell you all about them, but first I want to take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, Bellesa. Bellesa is a bi-women company for all things sexual wellness, with the mission to empower everybody to embrace, explore, and celebrate their sexuality. For the past year or so, I've been making strides to kind of start to embrace my own sexuality, and I can tell you that the addition of toys in my life has improved my marriage and my mental health. I'm not over-exaggerating, dude. This is self-care, and realizing that has left a lasting positive impression on my life. And it took me so long to focus on this part of myself because, you know, I was raised in purity culture and whatever, but those times are gone. It's hot girl summer, babe. Let me show you some of the goodies that Bellesa has to offer. So this little guy is the Pebble. It has independently controlled suction and vibration. It has 2 different buttons on it for that, and it's built so that it fits perfectly in your hand. And there's none of those weird, annoying pattern modes. If you know, you know. Comes in its own little carrying case, very discreet, very demure. And then there's the thumb. And yes, it has vibration and suction, but it also, well, it thumps. Bellesa has something that's called Pleasure Jet technology and True Feel vibrations that naturally complements the suction at its base. Oh, and it's waterproof. Pretty fun. Again, cute, discreet little charger carrying case. Looks like a sunglasses carrying case, but it's not. And finally, there's the Air Vibe. It offers dual stimulation with vibration and suction.
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking
It's
about.
also waterproof, so the possibilities are endless, and you will be surprised by the power capabilities of the vibration on this thing. And yeah, if you couldn't notice, they come in cute, discreet carrying cases. They double as a charger. They're made from premium quality silicone. They're so soft to the touch. So listen, let's get you a free toy, yeah? My friends at Bellesa and I are literally sending out free vibrators or gift cards for vibrators to everyone who signs up for the giveaway. All you have to do is click the link in the description or in the pinned comment here down below, and you'll be vibing in no time. Do you see what I did there? Thank you so much to Bellesa for sponsoring today's video and for being so supportive of women and their self-care and sexual wellness in general. Now, let's get into the rest of this video. So I guess the best way to start this is by watching the video. It was posted on TikTok by the user Amy's Secret TikTok account. As you can see, the average workday at Linking Minds / Royal Associates begins with a hype circle designed to pump the participants up with excitement and ambition, only to send them out in the pouring rain to
That's so they can keep you manipulated and get involved with the people so that you have friends that hold you accountable so that you can keep on manipulating other motherfuckers and keep the pyramid scheme going so that y'all feel close enough to each other type shit.
The video describes it, beg for money. In this still shot of their little table setup, you can see what looks to be a shirt that says choose kindness and a pop-it toy. In another video I found on TikTok, a different woman posted this video with the caption, "The time I got hired to beg for people money." The table she's at is promoting an organization called LEAD, Law Enforcement Against Drugs. And then there's this woman just silently standing there with money in her hand, and her eyes are closed. Like, is she praying? Is she trying to come to terms with the terribly unethical job that she's found herself in? Is she trying not to pass out from the heat exhaustion while wearing that ridiculous oversized men's suit? Or, as multiple commenters have pointed out, is she ironically—
I wasn't trying to say nothing about the suit. My brother do tailoring, so I always try to catch stuff and help brothers out. But she a sister, so I was gonna leave her alone. Yeah.
on fentanyl, given the fenty lean that she has going on, while she's trying to collect money to fight drug abuse. It's the last part, actually, because the person filming this fenty lean video did a little story time of her own, claiming that this woman is, in her own words, a crackhead, while simultaneously collecting donations to fight drugs. You can't make this stuff up.
I'm finna do a story time on the time where I got hired for this job. A crackhead was with me. We end up going to a little shopping center. She pops the setup open, and we were supposed to stand out there for a few hours. Hell no. Once she pulled out the table and she set it up and she just kept talking to me, she proceeds to reach in her pocket, pull out a little pill or whatever. Okay, so after she proceeds to throw that motherfucker back, she throws a few more back.
Resume is missing this. AI
Damn.
fluency gets you interviews in 2025.
It's 2025.
Anyway,
She gets zooted, but baby, that's not a C-Rack head, right? That's not that. See, in order for you to be called a C-Rack head, you gotta be doing C-Rack. See, I think we've been freely and willy-nilly using this C-Rack head term and labeling people as C-Rack heads, and y'all giving C-Rack heads a bad name. See, you know what I'm saying? I was a C-Rack head, and we didn't do none of this shit. That's called a tweaker, or you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? These types of other things. Not a C-Rack head. C-Rack heads are upstanding people. They work hard. They get you stuff for cheap. They, you know what I'm saying? Pillars of the community, C-Racks. You know what I'm saying? C-Rack heads are very much staples of every community. Tweakers and other individuals, you know what I'm saying? The poppers, you know what I'm saying? The leaners and such, not so much. You know what I'm saying? So let's get it together and use the correct terms, because y'all making C-Rack heads look bad out here.
back to the original video. So the audio itself here is really hard to hear and hard to make out the words that the presenter is saying. But from what I'm gathering, the woman explains that every $2 they bring in helps a child get into this program that they're promoting. Captions on the video explain that the company keeps 60% of the money. Huge red flag there. If you're trying to bring donations in to help fund programs for children, keeping 60% of the donations for yourself seems really scummy. They're allegedly keeping more money than what they actually end up donating to the actual nonprofit. The presenter mentions that this money is going towards getting kids in schools educated, as if kids are going to school for some other reason. The morning hype session was definitely culty, but the cult vibes get worse as the presenter gives shoutouts to what she calls the high rollers, aka the people who brought in the most donations over a period of time.
All right, and the next announcement. We got the high roller. Okay, number one, Chelsea.
And then they run around and they give each other high fives. Another caption here says that
So they gotta like mock her or like say the shit after her. That's some cult shit immediately. That if you never wondered what culty vibes, what's a cult vibe? What do I gotta look for? This type of shit. number one.
People are driving over 100 miles per day, which is crazy. And these associates here are supposedly getting paid 30% of the donations that they bring in. So far, we have Linking Minds, aka Royal Associates, keeping 60% of every donation. And then the people actually getting these donations are keeping 30%. So that is 90% of the donation just gone, not being given to the children that they're supposedly gathering all this money for. And is this communicated to the people who are donating said money? No, of course not. Another caption on this video says that they're not being paid to attend these cult-like gatherings. They don't get reimbursed for the gas that they use to travel so much. And speaking of all that traveling, they're doing so much wear and tear on their vehicles if they're traveling 100 miles a day. And they're supposedly working 6 days a week, which no one wants that. And up to 12 hours a day. Like, that is a 72-hour work week. If you divide $500 by 72 hours, that is an average hourly wage of $6.94, which is below the federal minimum wage in the United States, which is criminally low enough as it is already. And I'd be willing to bet that this income hasn't been, run through the tax machine yet, like a lot of larger businesses do, so they'll end up having to actually pay taxes at the end of the year. The video ends with the person behind the camera quitting.
This job feels like a pyramid scheme. I'm out.
Thank you.
So this video in and of itself leaves us with a lot of questions. What are you
Hey, if y'all do shit like this in certain times, I would recommend not saying it out loud. Because some of these places don't just let you freely walk away like that. I'm not going to tell y'all which ones, and whether or not they're related to delis or anything like that. But
raising money for? Where is this money going? What are you even doing? Is any of this even real? Thankfully, with this next video we're gonna watch here, we're gonna get some more answers. This is also posted by the same woman who posted the original TikTok video.
I messed up, y'all. I said it felt like a pyramid scheme, and it genuinely is a pyramid scheme. I mean, look at the development program. It's on page 2 of our packet.
Let's take a look at this paper here. It's titled the Director Development Program, and it lists the ranks offered by the company. So we're obviously entering pyramid scheme territory here. The entry position is called a client associate, and it's described in this way. Communicates with clients and customers in person, creating exposure as well as generating revenue for our clients while learning and applying marketing strategies. Wow, how delightfully vague. I can only imagine that there are not a lot of people who survive in this business long enough to rank up at all, but the ranks that come after this are vaguely worded as well. Go figure. Anyway, the woman then explains that when she was hired on, the company was called Linking Minds, but now appears to be going by the name Royal Associates, as I've mentioned before. And in the screenshot she
so that's one of the other red flags you need to look out for. My mama was in some shit. They was called one thing, then they switched the name to another thing, and she was like, yeah, they just switched the name because of what y'all. And I told her right then and there, mama, this is a scam. And she was like, no, I just switched the name because they switched the name. Please, you guys don't have to do the same thing, all right? When they switch names like this in companies, that's a very strong indicator. I'm not going to say it's automatically that they're a scam, but it's a strong indicator that they are in scam-like territory. Scam-likely, if you will. You know what I'm saying?
It describes the business as a non-profit marketing agency dedicated to lending its voice to change makers. Also pretty vague, but using the word non-profit in the business description is extremely misleading. Even if they were to say that, 50% of all donations were going straight to the cause, maybe I could understand that, because yeah, people in nonprofits still have to get paid for their time. There's still upkeep and costs and stuff that go into all that, but a 90-10 split seems really misleading. I don't really know anything about nonprofits, so
they gave the homeless niggas a record label deal. That's crazy.
I don't know if that's like normal, but that seems like a very unfair split. So anyway, she goes on to explain the name change that I talked about earlier, Linking Minds to Royal Associates. And this video was filmed literally 7 days after the first video. To be able to rebrand that fast is yet another Another insane red flag. Also, a 7-year-old could have made this clip art ass logo, come on. So the woman then gives us the pitch that she was using at her little booth to get people to agree to give her money.
So we literally had to go up to people and say, hey, how are you? Today we're out here helping kids fight drug abuse and school violence. Did you know last year in Louisiana, 13,000 kids died due to these problems? So today we're taking one-time donation,
Okay, so drug abuse and school violence. That's what you're supposedly raising money for? All right, well, that's a noble cause for sure. If the money were actually going towards the cause, maybe we can say 10% of that money is going to the cause. Maybe. But if I was approached by someone in this way, asked to be giving a donation, I would personally be expecting most, if not all of that donation would be going towards the cause that I'm donating to. Because in this case, they're using children to tug on your emotions. And what better cause is there to raise money for? You know, people don't like to see kids get caught up in gangs and drugs and stuff. So it's the perfect setup. And this woman puts their tactics on full display. How much money could this actually bring in though? Well, according to this woman, quite a lot.
Like your first or second day, you gotta raise $160. But after you've been there for over a week, you gotta raise $400 a day. So our office was ringing in $4,000 every single day. And it only cost $1,000 to put the program in a school for a whole year. $4,000 a day. $1,000 for the whole year. Where are the programs at?
Have you seen that ad, control the pawns to the left and to the right? +2, -3, kind of a running forward.
Who lives in Baton Rouge? Do your kids have these programs at their schools?
So if it only costs $1,000 per year to get one of these programs placed into one school, why does each individual person have to bring in a quota of $400 per day? Which, by the way, the take-home pay of one of these people who manages to bank $400 in donations for a day is $120 of take-home pay if they're taking home 30% of it. Since she said that her paycheck was about $500 for the week, that tells me she didn't make that goal if she's working 6 days a week. But hey, I guess, you know, maybe she just didn't pull herself up by the bootstraps enough. Maybe she didn't try hard enough. Maybe she didn't pray hard enough. Maybe she needs to work on that manifestation, honey. As a side note, the girl who said that she was working with the crackhead mentioned in her story that she was told it was like a salary position.
She was like, it's salary pay, but we automatically pay like $500 a week.
Now, if this were a regular 40-hour work week, the hourly pay would be about $12.50 per hour, which is kind of becoming the standard in a lot of bigger American cities. However, that doesn't really seem to be the case here because, as we know, they're working more than 40 hours a week. They're working much, much more than that. And are they getting paid overtime? Hell no. Anyway, with the entire company bringing in allegedly $4,000 per day, $400 of that would actually go towards these alleged school programs that they're trying to raise money for. But even then, it would only take the entire business organization here 2.5 days to fund one school for an entire year. This company, Linking Minds Royal Associates, it's located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, by the way. So how many schools could there possibly be? Certainly not enough that a 72-hour work week or even a 50-hour work week would be necessary to secure 100% funding for every school in Baton Rouge. So where else is that 10% of money going to? According to crackhead coworker
C-Rack
lady, she was putting the money in the box provided like she was supposed to, but her partner was putting her share of the money in her own personal fanny pack. So she was allegedly straight up stealing all of the money.
She was basically just like, any money that you make today, you should take home. The lady was like putting her money in a fanny pack, and I was putting all mine in the direct box. But y'all, she was stealing the money too. She was stealing too.
Anyway, back to the pyramid scheme stuff. The woman who's doing all the presenting in the original viral TikTok video is named Jalen Smith. I found her personal Instagram. She has experience in modeling, even made her way to New York Fashion Week at one point, only now to wind up being a straight up scammer. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Specifically referring back.
I knew she looked kind of familiar. I wasn't trying to say all that, but I knew I recognized her from something.
Back to the packet we saw earlier, Jalen holds the rank of assistant director, the second highest rank. The job description says, supports the director by managing and training employees, learning to oversee budgets, day-to-day operations, and HR. Jalen was brought into this company in November 2023. The person running the office back then basically built Jalen up to run that office in Baton Rouge, is still getting a percentage of the profits that the office generates, and then she moved to Georgia and opened a new office to do the exact same thing. And I'm pretty sure it's this.
Bro, this shit crazy, man. Listen, bro, I don't know. I'm about to start streaming. So if y'all want to follow me on Twitch, follow me over there. I'm about to go get something to eat, you know what I'm saying? Get a drink and then hop on stream tonight. What time is it? Probably about like 9. Y'all ain't gonna see this, so that don't matter to y'all. But if you want to tune into my streams, I usually be on around 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock every night. I stream in the morning sometimes if I'm not doing shit, but every night at 9 o'clock I will be on stream. So follow me. It's still Khalil. Still Khalil, I believe, is the name on Twitch. I think it's still Khalil though. To get like the anyway, follow me on Twitch. I'll be over there. Peace.